Hey guys, welcome back to Prep Talk on Prepping in Progress. I'm Steve, and today we're going to talk about dating as a prepper. So stay with us. Okay, so dating. It's kind of difficult as a prepper, isn't it? Especially if you've either been widowed or divorced and you've been in the lifestyle for a while. Prepping is considered a subculture by some people. And we're a very unique set of individuals. Um, we know what we want, we know what we're planning for, we know what we think the end result is going to be, and we kind of lock ourselves into our own paradigm. We're very fond of saying, well, I improvise, I adapt, I overcome, I do the things. I've got the tools. But how willing to adapt are we really? Um, Being in the dating scene again has been odd. And watching and listening to conversations within the community has been interesting. There are actually Facebook groups for single homesteaders and preppers. And you sit back and everyone's putting themselves out there. Hey, I'm so and so. You give your age, you give, your location, try to introduce yourself, and you get to talking with people. And there are some very attractive young ladies on some of these groups. There are some really good looking guys on these groups. And you'd think that they would be hitting it off and having conversations and moving forward. But more often than not, as I sat back listening, well, I haven't found anything, I'm out of here. Or, I wish you all well on your search. And I started doing some research, and I started, Googling apps and getting on the app store on my phone. And there was actually a survivalist singles app. I think that's the name of it. That had not been truly active in about 7 years. There were people who had signed up for it, and there were some discussions, but it was practically dead. And I wondered why. I began to take a good look at the different prepping profiles and the interactions, the public interactions, because you don't get to see the private messages between people. And it's got to be difficult, especially for those of us who have religious beliefs that tie into our prepping. Um, Many religious organizations have an apocalyptic view of end times where, there's going to be some kind of time of woe, time of trouble, and then after that, the Father will come. So if you fall into that category, you've narrowed your search even more because you're looking for someone who has similar religious beliefs. Now, if you're a straight up Seventh-day Adventist, a Baptist, even a Catholic, you can begin your search within your religious organization. It's a little bit harder for Seventh-day Adventists and Torah keepers who keep Saturday Sabbath and then practice a much more conservative and stringent form of worship. Because it's a very small community to begin your search. And then, do you look outside the community and try to bring someone into your way of thinking? Or do you look elsewhere, as in someone in Missouri if you're in Arkansas, or someone in Michigan if you're in Arkansas? Do you widen your search? And you have the potential to find someone whose belief system is similar to yours. You have the potential to find someone who agrees with you, right down to reasons to prepare and how to prepare. So let's say we conquer religious beliefs, dietary constrictions. I mean, you could meet a Catholic who's willing to go along with the Torah keepers' no unclean meats. Both believe in the Messiah, both believe and are willing to keep the Old Testament and the New Testament and to pull it all together. But it's going to be difficult to find someone like that. But it's possible. I'm not saying it's not. I'm not throwing it out. But there are so many other facets of this situation. You have different pieces that you're trying to put into the same puzzle. So we take down, you're a prepper. Okay, good. Your religious beliefs and my beliefs coincide. And I'm going to tell you, I'm a big believer in clearing up your religious beliefs and stances early on in a dating scenario, so that that's not a point of contention later. And be sure of what you believe, because if you have wandered from what you either know to be the truth or suspect to be the truth and then begin studying that, you've switched and changed your paradigm on your partner. Okay? And that's really not fair. And yet it is, because people grow. Your partner could take a right turn at Albuquerque, and the next thing you know, you are a conservative Christian, maybe even keeping Torah, and your partner has gone atheist. And the road diverges. I mean, it's an option. So prepper dating, I'm going to say get it all out in the open. Get all of those little things out in the open while you can. But then comes the thing that I really want to discuss. The problematic denominator within almost every relationship, potential relationship that I saw. how would I say this? Beautiful woman. Beautiful woman, very attractive, got everything wired. Let's say she's in New York State, upper New York State. She's conservative, but, and here's the thing, she's already homesteading. Okay? She's homesteading, she's got her chickens, she's got her cows, she's got her goats, she's got her property lined out. She has in her head her paradigm for what she's prepping for. Guy in Kentucky comes across her profile. Hey, how's it going? Da 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 da. They get to talking, they make phone calls. Now this guy has his bug out location set up. He has his crops in the ground. He has his cows. He has his chickens. He has his goats. He has his llama. Let's throw out a llama for whatever reason. And when it comes on down to it, he's researched his location. He believes his location is the best location possible for X scenarios. He's not moving. He's not willing to uproot and go to upstate New York. And our young lady in upstate New York is not willing to leave her location because she has her established homestead. She has her cows, she has her chicken, she has her everything, and she's not willing to go either. And yet we're preppers and we believe that we are improvise, adapt, and overcome. Huh. Funny, isn't it? We have these principles in our head. We have the rules we live by. We know how to change out the water supply on our homestead. We have it set up so that we've got, spring-fed water, gravity-fed, solar. We have all the things. And we can repair them with duct tape and baling wire. We have the spare parts. We have all the gear, and we know how to use it, and we know how to repair the gear. But when it comes down to it, for a chance at having a partner after we've been established in this lifestyle, because I believe it's a lifestyle. I don't believe it's a one and done or I've got X amount and I'm finished. I believe you truly continue to grow, continue to prosper, continue to set things aside. I see it as an insurance policy. When it comes right down to it, we are so stuck in our paradigms that we're not willing to even consider taking a chance. We're not willing to do the research and sit down and look at another alternate location. That was the major issue I saw with most potential people who were communicating. So here's the deal, guys. I mean, if you're single, if you're in the prepping lifestyle, if you are looking to build something, and I don't just mean the homestead, I don't just mean the bug out location, I don't just mean this, this, and this. I mean, if you are truly looking to build a relationship with someone else, a partnership with someone else, something that you think will survive the zombie apocalypse, you need to start looking inward as well as outward. You need to start not just checking skills on a check sheet for your partner. I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. But you need to stop and say, what are you willing to give up? Are you willing to give up your location? Are you willing to get a caretaker for your location? Get one of your local MAG members to even build a tiny house on your location and take care of your location while you live elsewhere. You must be ready, willing, and open, not just to working with someone who has a slightly different belief structure or a slightly different vision of what the end game scenario may be. But if you're really going to go hunting for the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, be ready, willing, and able to uproot yourself and go to their location, and vice versa. Now, I'm not saying you need to throw out your checklist, throw out your, I want someone who believes like I do, I want someone who thinks like I do. Absolutely, keep that. Keep all that. Most definitely. But you need to be open to changing bug out locations, having an alternative. And if you have to go across the country for someone, be ready, willing, and able to figure out how you're going home if you need to. Be ready, willing, and able to take a good long look at divorce. And how many trips is it going to take to get all your stuff out? And are they going to end up keeping your half of the long-term food storage, your toolbox, your whatever? You're going to end up losing things. So be prepared not just to uproot yourself and to take a chance on something great, but consider getting a prenup. Consider, some kind of agreement where we do 6 months at your bug out location, we do 6 months at mine. Look at ways to make jobs work while traveling. There are so many things to be thought of, especially when you're looking at moving long distance for a relationship. But I go back to the complete unwillingness of many people to even consider uprooting themselves. That seems to me to be the biggest hang-up in dating in the prepping community. So if you're single out there, guys, girls, walk into your bathroom, look into your mirror and say, where can I compromise? Am I willing to travel? You're going to be asking yourself, what can I do to make something like this go? What can I do to make the relationship work? How far am I willing to travel? It's compromise, really. What am I willing to do to compromise? Um, so I'm going to beat that part of this conversation to death, really. We have to look at all the variables. We can't dig our feet into the ground. Now I'm being faced with something as well, because do I want to leave the mountain again? Do I want to go to a city for someone if I were to end up with a city girl, you know? Or is there a way to make the commute work? You know, there are lots of variables when we talk about relationships. There are lots of human factors. So like I said, go to the bathroom, ladies and gentlemen, look yourselves in the mirror and figure out what you're willing to do. Figure out where you're willing to go and where you're willing to compromise. So let's bow our heads and close this prep talk out. Merciful Father, we come to you through your Son, asking for your guidance in our day-to-day relationships, our future relationships, and in our future. Help us walk the path that you have set out for us. We know it's not going to be easy. We know it's not going to be fun and games all the time. And some days, you know, we're just hanging on by those fingertips, praying for just a little bit more strength. Lead us, guide us, and help us to follow your will. Please be with my veterans today. Help them to know that you're there for them, with them, guiding and protecting them. Please be with those out there whose hearts are hurting, who are struggling. We come to you through your Son, Yeshua. And we ask you to take control and to guide and to lead. Amen. All right, guys. Thanks for watching Prep Talk. Thanks for being here. Take care. And have a little fun while you're out there. Dig deep. Find yourself in a cave. Go exploring. Go do something fun for yourself. I'll see you soon.